All right, everybody, welcome back to the Roast It Yourself podcast. I am Stephen Burnett with Coffee Bean Corral.
Catherine Mansell with Current Crop Roasting Shop.
That's right, and we're bringing you this every single week, answer to questions you have about roasting coffee, green coffee, brewing coffee, whatever is coffee related. We're here to answer your questions because we want you to be able to roast the best coffee you possibly can. Yeah. And so today we have a question. I did not get permission to use this person's name, so I'm just going to read the question. It says, "Hi, I'm looking for some single origin green bean varieties you have available with solid fruit notes, especially blueberry. I used to buy all Ethiopian, but haven't got a good berry blaster in a long time. I also had a natural Pacamara when visiting Colombia that was really great." Did I say Pacamara correctly? Pacamara. Mm-hmm. Pacamara.
Yeah.
That was really great. Fruity and spicy.
Mm-hmm.
What can you recommend?
Well, obviously, Ethiopia does have blueberry bombs. Now, they may not be the same blueberry bombs as they were 5 or 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I do hear that a lot. Why isn't the blueberry there that was there many crop cycles ago?
Many moons ago.
Right.
Yes.
I can't really answer that. Agricultural products change year by year. Hopefully next year all Ethiopians will be a big blueberry blast, but right now I have been going towards Burundi, the Hafi Natural that CBC has and Current Crop has. I've used in a pastry pairing class because of the blueberry note in it. So it's prevalent and it's there. It's a very fruity coffee, natural process from Africa. So I would go towards Burundi next.
Burundi Hafi. We'll have a link for that in the show notes.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, what's funny, we get a lot of emails, we get a lot of reviews, and I see most all of those as they come through our system at Coffee Bean Corral. And you'll have side-by-side reviews where someone says, this, the Misty Valley, no blueberry, got barely anything out of this. It was good a few years ago, it's not now. And the next person that you see a review for that same coffee is like, this thing is just a blueberry bomb, super juicy. Yeah. So I think the berry is in the eye of the beholder a little bit. And also, I don't know about you guys, I tend to romanticize the past anyway. Everything was better 5 or 10 years ago, you know? There might be some of that happening too. I'm not going to psychologize coffee too much. Yeah. But yeah, so the Burundi Hafi would be your choice out of our lineup. Well, that is awesome. Yeah. I think that's a good one. We'll put a link in the show notes, like I said. Besides that, so Coffee Bean Corral, we talked about Current Crop a little bit last time, and we'll talk a little bit more about it, of course, going forward. But Coffee Bean Corral has been was the very first online store for green coffee, direct to consumer, down from half a pound all the way up to 50 pounds. And if you want to know more about what we have going on, we do a weekly sale where we have 130 different coffees in our inventory, and every week we put a handful of them, 5, 10, something like that, on sale for you guys. And so if you want to find out about that, we have an email list. I actually write those emails, and so if you hate them, don't tell me. But you can subscribe for that at www.coffeebeancorral.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and enter your email in there, and that way you'll be able to catch those deals and not miss anything we have to offer on that. Yep. But yeah.
One thing I do want to say, this customer talked about the Pacamara.
I
have an El Salvador Pacamara natural in the microlot section at the shop in New Orleans. So if you want to try one,
they get fun things down there that we don't get up here. I think I've had that. You've made that for me. Yes, it is quite good. So fabulous. For this customer, you could go down to Current Crop Roasting Shop and get that Pacamara fix also. Yeah. All right. So what are you brewing these days?
I've gotten into a lot of cold brew recently. New Orleans and Jackson, the heat and humidity is extreme. So last summer I had to get into cold brew to have any samples at all really in the store. Nobody wanted hot coffee when it was 115 degrees outside. So over the past few months I've been going through the inventory and trying to see what's been tasting really great as cold brew. I've gotten into some Brazilian coffees that have done really well as cold brew. some coffees from Papua New Guinea, Java, Bali. So really, my little obsession for the past few months has been cold brew.
Yeah, I was talking about cold brew today. We have a new hire, and I love people that love coffee, but I also love people that come in that work here that know nothing about coffee out of the gate, because then I get to just download. I'm like, all right, listen, you might get scared and run away, but you're going to hear all this stuff. And she asked me about cold brew, and she's like, do you like cold brew? And I said, it depends on if the underlying coffee is good. Cold brew is like a amazing spotlight magnifying glass. If the coffee is good, the cold brew can be great. But if the coffee's if you've roasted it incorrectly, if it's you're going to taste what's in there. And there's no hiding it. And so I like it for that reason. And it's just, I mean, it's one of the most refreshing ways to enjoy coffee. And I was you can definitely tell the difference between two iced coffees if one was cold brewed and one was brewed out of a batch brewer.
Right.
Totally tell the difference. And I like them a lot. So
I've been what I've been trying to do with cold brew, I have we have a lot of people that come in that have a sensitivity to acidity,
right,
and just how that kind of develops on your palate. So I've been taking all of my beans right to the beginning of the second crack. So I'll hear maybe 2 cracks of the second crack, and then I'll drop and cool everything down, and it ends up being so smooth. And I'm doing the Brazil Sweet Blue right now.
I love
and
Sweet
it's
Blue.
Just chocolate.
When I roasted the Sweet Blue for a friend of mine, and he called me and was like, you could stand a spoon up in this. It's so much body. But yeah, I like that. I feel like there's a natural kind of brightness to cold brew that you don't get. So even if it's not a very bright coffee, I feel like cold brewing just makes it, I don't know if it tastes brighter or just getting more of the acidity out of the coffee.
I think it sort of mutes the acidity down because it tastes really kind of smooth and full body and chocolatey, but it doesn't come through like a light roasted African coffee does, But we've done the Misty Valley as a light roast and made cold brew with it, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I tried the Bali Kintamani Natural.
That's one of my favorite coffees.
I either messed up the roast, which is entirely possible, but it was just completely just the process.
Yeah.
It wasn't, the strawberry and papaya like you get in it when it's hot. It was...
I've never cold brewed it, but I really enjoy it as...
I did not nail it.
Well.
That's the one I had a bad experience with, but the rest of them tend to be nice, smooth, and chocolatey.
That's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening again. We'll come at you again next week with another question. If you have any questions, which I'm sure you do, just send those via email to questions@riypod.com. Questions@riypod.com. Roast it yourself pod. See, very creative.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next week, you guys have a great day and happy roasting.
Happy roasting.